Good morning, class. I am audible to you. Now my voice is coming.
Yes, sir.
There is some technical error. So, continuing from the previous class, where we are discussing about the protocol hierarchy, and we have understood in this that each layer is having some responsibility, and each layer is providing services to its above layer. If it is a bottom up approach, and in this case if it is in a top down approach, it is providing services like in this manner, right? So you can see the data is coming from here to this layer 4, and then layer 4 will add some information in that message along with that. So we are calling it as a header 4 data, right? And then this data is again connected with this header 3, right? And so on, header 2, like this way, right? So we are encapsulating the data along with the layer headers, which is basically adding the features, right, of that layer that need to be done before it need to be transmitted over the transmission medium, right? So that we have understood that if we are trying to do this thing with a single layer, then it is very difficult, or you can say very tedious, to identify the problem in a later stage. So what we did is we divide the role and responsibility and segregated them into these layers, right? So that's why it is known as layer architecture. And we will come to know in detail that we have 7 layers, right, for our OSI ISO model, right? I will discuss that thing in the slide when it will come to us. But yes, we are planning and we are preparing for that thing. And in that manner, we are talking about all this thing, right? So remember that every layer has some task to do, and it is also providing services to its upper and the lower layer, right? And you can see that that's why it's bidirectional, which basically talks about this thing, right? So this is one example that we have studied in the previous class. right, in which there is message. That message is need to be converted with the help of translator, right, information for the remote translator, right. So that thing is added over here, that is header. And then extra information is required for like such as fax or fax number or something, right, information for the remote secretary, right. So in that manner, each layer is doing their role. This is one analogy or one example which is talking about that what real that layer are doing actually, right. So here you can see that initially we have a message, right. Now when the message arrived from the layer 5 to layer 4, what we get, this layer 4 did some kind of addition over here, right, you can see. And that addition we called it header 4, right. So this is some extra information which is added. And then in layer 2 we are dividing that, because that message is too high to handle, or you can say too big to handle. So what we are doing, we are dividing it into, and then we are again adding our header 3, like like this way. Then we are inserting our header 2, and then finally it will reach to the lower layer, that is the physical layer. And in that case it is connected through wire, so we are transmitting through that electrical signal over, right, over that carrier. And then it will reach to the receiver, right. So it has two entries, I can say. This is one, the sender, and the other side we having a receiver, right. Similarly, these layers, in the sending side we have inserted all that information, extra information, like you can see, right. Over here what we are doing, we are removing that on the receiving side. We are trying to as we move on from top to from bottom to up, right. So you can see that these headers are now removed back, and layer by layer we are opening the message one by one in each layer, right. Now you can see now this header is removed, which is inserted in layer 3. Over here you can see this header was inserted. So in the receiving side at layer 3 only, what we are doing, we are removing this header, right. So we are left with this. And then again this header is removed over here, and then what we get, we get the original message. So the original message is sent with the help of all this additional information, right, along with this. And then on the receiving side, one by one we will remove all that additional information, and in the end we will receive the original message. So that is the need of or this will basically allow us to provide more services, right. Kind of services like reliability, or kind of services such as connection detect error detection like services, right. So for this reason we have given the responsibility to each and every layer, and layer are doing in this manner, right. Any doubt in this particular, you can ask, right. So the purpose of this layer is to make the things more easier to understand, right. And in the later stage also, if there is some issue in that layer, then we could easily able to understand, okay, if this problem is there, like error detection problem is there, then the response, which layer is responsible for this thing, layer 2 is responsible for this. So we will come to know, okay, in layer 2 something has happened, and in this manner uh, each task will be encountered with proper you can say uh, uh, responsibility, right. With proper responsibility, each layer is doing their task, right. So this is one example actually. We don't have layer such as if we talking about TCP IP protocol, then we have 5 layer. Otherwise, we have 7 layers, right? So we will discuss that thing when it will come in our syllabus. Yes. So here we have ended our lecture in the previous class, where we are talking about the type of services, and you can see clearly we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 services, which are message stream, right. That is again reliable, right. So connection oriented service is associated with reliable service, right? Try to understand. Now, it has many things in it. I will explain one by one, but you have to you have to pay attention, right? So a stream of data is there. First of all, try to understand that streams of data is there, and in connection oriented services, what in two end, right? So one end is sender and other end is receiver, right? So there will be a fixed path. Try to remember this thing. There is a fixed path for that session. For that session means till that communication will end, right? So there will be a kind of in this particular, when we are trying to have this connection oriented service, so there will be there will be some kind of handshaking, right? What it means, that the sender and receiver, they will establish a connection, and that is known as handshaking, right? So what it means, they will take permission from each other at, are you ready to listen? And then receiver will say yes, I am ready, and connection will get established. And then in this, first the connection will get established, then the data will get delivered, then the acknowledgement will be there, and then connection will disconnect it. These are the steps, right? Please remember this thing. So first of all, that connection establish, right? So I'm just writing in short form because space is not there. So connection will establish in first step. Second, then data will be transferred, right? And then there will be an acknowledgement, right? And then in the last stage, what we will do, we will disconnect the connection. So these are the steps which is there, and all this process is known as handshaking, right? So there are three different types of handshaking. We will discuss this thing in chapter 6 when we will talk about TCP IP model, right? In that we have connection oriented service. So this is one protocol of connection oriented service, TCP protocol, right? For connectionless, one protocol is there which is known as UDP, user datagram protocol, right? So datagram means that packet, right, with fixed size, right, uh, with fixed header size, and it has some data in it, right? You can see like this, and we are transmitting it over the network, but there is no fixed path. As we have a fixed path in connectionless connection oriented service, in connectionless we don't have fixed path. That's why it is known as less, connectionless, and we are not trying to establish any kind of handshaking in case of connectionless, right? So when we will discuss the difference between connectionless and connection oriented service, the things will be clear to you, right? It will be very easy for you to understand that what I'm saying. But yes, please remember that these are the types of service, and this service is for layer 4. Till now we have discussed up to layer 3. Please remember, right? In lab also I have shown you that that routers, they work for layer 3, right? So till now we have discussed for layer 3. But when we are discussing for services, and in that particular we are talking about connectionless and connection oriented services, remember it is for layer 4, transport layer. Layer 4 is your transport layer, please remember. And layer 3 is your network layer, right? So network layer में हम router की बात करते हैं यहाँ पे, right? And layer 2 is, and layer 1 is your hub, right? So which devices are working in layer 2? That is your switch, and that is nothing but, which the name of that layer is data link layer, right? Whereas layer 1 is physical layer, right? And which device is working over here? That is hub, right? I have shown you in the lab also, and we will see it today also in our Cisco Packet Tracer lab. You will understand it more clearly. But whenever I am talking about services, right, and in that particular I am talking about connection oriented and connectionless services, then immediately my my attention will goes to layer 4, right? And layer 4 is your transport layer. So transport layer is responsible for providing the services such as connectionless and connection oriented services. Services are basically divided into these two categories. What are those? That is connectionless and connection oriented, right? Yes, any doubt in this particular? So we will understand now in detail that what is connectionless and connection oriented service, right? And this is, believe me, a 5 to 10 marks question from MST point of view. So over here only just clear your doubt, and you can easily able to grab this 5 to 10 marks for your final exam or an MST, right? Uh, Meanwhile, I have to take an attendance. Just hold on. Yes, class, I have an announcement. So first we will understand what is connection oriented services, right? So connection oriented service, each packet is related to source and destination connection. Whenever we are talking about connection oriented service, we will simply imagine that there will be one sender and will be one receiver who will communicate with each other, right? And the challenge is that how they can reach to each other with the shortest path, right? Which path is shortest? How we can determine this thing, right? So what we will do, we will follow some method in that, right? So in between we can see there are lots of intermediate devices, right? They are connected with each other, and we need to identify that which will be the shortest path. This is the first thing that we have to consider, that to identify the shortest path between the sender and the receiver, right? But if the shortest path is not available, then we will look for the next optimal path, which will allow the sender to transmit the packet and that could able to reach to the destination. So this is the second priority, which talks about, okay, sir, shortest path is not available, but then what we have to do, we have to reach to the destination somehow, right? If that is also not possible, then we will take the longest path also, because the minimum, or you can, the criteria is that the connection need to be there between sender and destination, right? They must able to contact with each other, right? But we have set the priority that if it is possible, so we will try for the shortest one, and in if that thing is not available, then we will definitely take the path which is longest also, not an issue. But there should not be any situation where there will be no path between the source and destination. We should not follow in this situation in any case. If that is the thing, then the overall need of network will fail over here, right? So we will we will seek for the optimal path, and we will reach to the destination. That was the thing. But in connection oriented services, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to create a connection first of all between the source and destination, right? So just imagine that you want to reach to your friend, and in between there is a river. I'm just giving an example, right? This is a life kind of example. So if there is a river in between, and you want to reach your friend, right? So on the one side there is one friend named X1 and other one is X2, and you want to reach to your friend house, but in between we have a river. Then what you will do, right? So there are two options. One is that you will build a bridge in between, and then you will cross the river, right? And over here then only you will cross the river, and you could able to reach to your friend. And the other option is that you could try to fly, and then you can reach to this thing, right? So these two are the only option that is left. And in the same manner, we have tried to understand this connection oriented service as a bridge service, right? which says that we will establish a path and then you could able to reach to the destination, right? So in this sense, you can understand that whenever we are talking about connection oriented service, it requires some time, some initial time to establish a connection. As I have told you in the previous slide, that they are trying to have a handshaking, right? So that handshaking is basically connection establishment process, right? So there are there are different types of handshaking: four-way handshaking, three-way handshaking. In that, what is happening? That sender will establish a path, right? As I told you an example that X1 want to reach to X2. So what it will do? It will build a bridge, and then he will cross to that river, and then it can reach, and then the path will remain same all the time in that during that communication before that connection get disconnected, right? So this is a kind of connection oriented service where the sender will first establish a path and then start communicating over that path only, right? And once the data transmission is over, then we can able to disconnect from that path, right? So in this way we can see that connection oriented service required more time, right? It required more time, right? So you can say it is a slow process. Try to understand. Then whenever you have a question of 5 marks or 10 marks, that what do you understand by connectionless and connection oriented service, explain with the help of example, or which one is better, what is your opinion in that? So I will let you till now we cannot able to uh, decide that which one is better. I will let you know this thing in the end. I will ask you one by one that what do you think which one is better. We will have a healthy discussion in that, right? So in a connection oriented service, each packet is related to source and destination connection. That is what it is written over here. There is a source and destination connection, and these packets are routed along that similar path. So till that connection is not over, data transmission is not over, that same path will remain fixed. That's why it is said earlier also that they will follow that similar path till that connection is or the data transmission is not over, right? And what we call it, this path is known as virtual path, because this is not fixed permanently. So every time we have to establish a connection. So and then after completion of data, again we disconnected the connection, right? So that's why we call it a virtual path, right? Virtual path. Please remember this thing. So this is a virtual path between source and destination, where source is trying to send some data to the destination through this path, right? Till the completion of data, right? Now, does it provide an end-to-end connection to the client end for a reliable data? Now you can see, because we have this fixed path and a virtual path over there, so the data could able to reach more consistently and without any trouble and hurdle, because there is no need of few activities such as uh, collecting of data from, because coming from different source, here coming from the same source and path. So what it did, it required less reliability features, and but it make this connection more reliable. So that's why it is seen over here. What is written? Reliable message streams, and there will be stream of message which will be transmitted one after another. So one stream of bytes will be transmitted from sender to the destination, right? With that same virtual path, and that's why it is talking about reliable. Reliability is concerned with this. So that's why this connection oriented service is talking about reliable message, whereas connectionless is unreliable, because uh, packets may get to the destination from different path, and in that different path there could be a issue that message get collide and that message could not able to reach to the destination, because each packet is coming from different routers, right? And they are following their own path, so that, and the shortest path, so that or the where they are getting highest bandwidth, in that way they are traveling and then trying to reach to the destination. But over here such thing is not there, right? We are having a fixed path, virtual path between the sender and destination. So they are following that stream of they are forwarding that stream of data through that path only, right? So the chances of getting collision will be less, because we have dedicated path for that stream of data. So the probability of getting collide with other packet will be less as compared to connection less services, right? Where in connection less service, what is happening? Packets are traveling, they are segregated, they are divided into small chunks, and then they are forwarded in different direction, so that it can reach to the destination using some shortest path. In this way, what will happen? There could be a chance that they could get collide with some other message which they are or other connection, or other sender and receiver they are sending, right, in that manner. So that's why connection less is talking about unreliable service. Connection oriented is talking about reliable service, because of this dedicated path, virtual path, which is decided for that connection during that handshaking, right? I think this first four line is clear to you. You will understand that yes, this is a kind of reliable connection, and it is uh, kind of required some resources, dedicated resources. Now, please understand this thing. It required a dedicated source for that data to get complete, right? So means in that path, no other sender could able to send, or the receiver could able to receive. Try to understand in this manner, right? So it deliver information in order without duplication or missing information. Now this is the point which I'm talking. It is not needed, because we are giving a smooth, or you can say contention free path, right? So there is no conflict, there is no collision in between, because there is no other opponent who is trying to utilize this path, which is completely free for that streams of byte from the sender to the destination. Now due to this, all the data will get a open, or you can say free bandwidth, and easy for them to reach to the destination without any kind of duplication or missing or collision or retransmission, as these things are not much required, not you can say not at all required, but yes, it may happen sometime that may due to some contention over here, right, due to some router over here, a packet get disturbed, or get due to attenuation or due to noise, a packet information get changed. So what will happen? There will be error detection in that packet, right? And simply router will reject that part. So what is required? Retransmission required. So I cannot say this thing that retransmission will not happen. Yes, retransmission may happen over here also, but it is not much required, because we are giving a smooth uh, dedicated path between the sender and destination. Just imagine that you are running your car in a highway where no other car is there to disturb you in between. Just imagine that thing. So that is what the connection oriented service kind of thing. Whereas on the other end, in connectionless service, just imagine that you are full with all the other cars, and you are trying to reach to your house. So we are following all that rules and protocols. We are having that traffic light, we are having that uh, zebra crossing, we are having all that of things. We And you just imagine, in that case the chances of accident or the collision is much higher as compared to if you are trying to run your car in a highway with any other car. So think of it that you are alone in that highway and you are just running it, right? So chances of collision, or you can say uh, some accident, is minimum. It's very less, very less. The same way, we are talking about this thing. But the problem arises that we have to provide a dedicated path, which is not required for a same packet, right? For a car, it is not required to design a complete highway for a person to reach to his home from office to home. It will be very costly, right? So that's why we will learn about this thing in the next few slides, that connection oriented service is a little costly as compared to connectionless service, right? But yes, it provide you that speed, it provide you less missing of information. So it does not congest the communication channel and the buffer of the receiving device. The host machine requests a connection to interact and close the connection after the transmission of data. So mobile communication is an example of connection oriented service, right? So the phone we are using, that is a connection kind of connection oriented service. We are you can see over here, right? Now let's talk about the next one, that is connectionless, and then we will talk about the difference between connection oriented and connectionless service, right? Please remember, this is 5 to 10 marks question, and it will definitely help you understand that what is the role of transport layer, where we are having these two types of service using TCP and UDP protocol. So who is providing this type of service? TCP. So whenever we are talking about connection oriented service, we talk about TCP, right? And whenever we are talking about connection less service, so which protocol we are talking about? UDP. Please remember this thing. UDP का full form is user datagram protocol, right? So datagram means a piece of information from the entire source of data. We know that we could not able to send it. So what we do, we will divide into small chunks. So that is a datagram. So user datagram protocol. So where what we are doing, we are dividing the data into small chunks, then numbering them and then forwarding them, and they are allowed to travel through any path to reach to the destination. So, but their tendency will be